Have you ever wondered if yoga can help with period pain? Now, this is something that I've been asked quite a lot over the years. And so if you go onto the internet and you search yoga for period pain or yoga for PMS, you'll find quite a few videos out there with practices, very gentle and very calming practices that are able to help us really relax. And in turn, this potentially helps us deal with any period pain that we've got. However, what I wanted to do is I wanted to find if there were any academic studies that actually found if yoga can help with period pain. So after a little bit of research, what I was able to find was that there are 4 main studies out there which actually did find how yoga can help with period pain. One was based in Thailand, one was in Korea, one was in Japan, and one was in Iran. Each of these studies followed a different sequence of poses, and what they found in the end was that these sequences that they had designed were able to help the participants reduce their period pain. And so in this video, I want to give you an overview of the sequences of these yoga poses so that you could do them whenever you feel that you want to. And then in the next video, which I will link to here, I'll have a full sequence where I've incorporated parts of these studies, and this will be a full sequence for you to follow. So the first study we're going to look at was the one in Thailand. Now, what they did here is they asked their participants in the study to practice yoga for 30 minutes, twice a week, for 12 weeks. And at the end, they found that this helped reduce period pain. And the sequence that they had the participants do was this. So this study started out with Savasana for 5 minutes. And this is quite an interesting way to start off the practice, but I guess it's a way to help really relax and calm the body down. So Savasana for 5 minutes, I would encourage anyone doing this to have a little blanket, especially if you do have period cramps. After this, they had 3 rounds of Surya Namaskara, which is the sun salutations, and this was for about 9 minutes each, followed by Supta Vajrasana for 2 minutes. And this is a really nice stretch which will really help to stretch out any cramps that you might be feeling. This was then followed by Janu Sirsasana. We had 3 sets of this for 6 minutes, and obviously it's one leg and then the other. This was then followed by Paschimottanasana, forward fold. This was 3 sets for 3 minutes, so 1 minute each. And then followed by Shavasana again for 5 minutes. And again, find that blanket and just keep yourself nice and warm. Next, we're moving on to the second study, which was in Korea, and this was in 2016. And what they did is they asked their participants to practice yoga 60 minutes, once a week, again for 12 weeks. And let's see what they asked their participants to do. So first, we do 10 rounds of Surya Namaskara, or 10 rounds of sun salutations, and this is for approximately 15 minutes. And now after this, we relax in Shavasana for 5 minutes. And I guess this is a really nice way to relax after a dynamic form of movement through the sun salutations. After our Shavasana, after our relaxation, we do 5 cycles of cat, cobra, and fish poses, and these are done for 10 minutes. And then after this, we do a really nice, very long relaxation or yoga nidra for 30 minutes. Now we're moving to study 3, which was carried out in Japan in 2012. Now this practice had a very different approach. This was doing very small yoga practices every day. What they did here was it was just 7 minutes of a yoga practice every day for 7 weeks. So let's have a look at how they did their study. In this practice, we start off with pranayama for 1 minute and 45 seconds. And following this, we've got about a 6-minute practice of moving from mountain pose to arms up, to standing forward fold, to downward facing dog, to chaturanga, to cobra, to cat pose, child's pose, cat pose, downward facing dog, standing forward bend, arms up high, and coming back to mountain pose, Tadasana. And this is repeated 2 times. Now the last study comes from Iran, and in this study, similar to the previous one, it's yoga 20 minutes every day for 2 weeks. And let's have a look at what happened in this study. So this study focused on 3 specific yoga poses: cobra, cat, and fish pose, and these were performed every day for 20 minutes. And they have a diagram of how to perform each of these poses. And reading through this study, it was actually quite interesting because I had a bit of an eye-rolling moment, because when I was looking into the study, it actually had this sentence. Yoga is usually better learned from a yoga teacher, but yoga is simple enough that one can learn the basics from good books on the subjects, which are plentiful. So yes, I don't really agree that yoga is simple enough that you can just learn it from a book, but anyway, we'll still go with this study. So after having a look at the yoga poses and the yoga sequences that have been used in scientific studies, I saw that there were some common themes. So what I did is that I selected the ones that I thought would perform the best. I put them into a yoga sequence, and if you want a follow along yoga practice for period pain, check out this video here. And let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!